Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Satchidanandarupaya Vishvotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. 5252 birth anniversary of the blue boy of Vrindavan, Lord Shri Krishna. The greatest worship of Lord Shri Krishna is listening to his words. There is nothing greater, bigger than this, any kind of offering or the worship. We are offering our ears to listen to his words. That is the most happiest thing for the Lord. When we hear his words, naturally we will become a real devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. That is what he wants. What I mean real devotee means where we completely offer ourselves to the Lord. We offer everything to the Lord. That offering only really Lord wants. Ishvara wants. That can be done, possible only when we hear his glory, his teaching. Therefore, today being the Sri Krishna Janmashtami, we are listening to the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are the most fortunate people in the world, among many like this. Therefore, let us listen to his voice. Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. Kshetra Vibhaga Yogam, Shloka number 17. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi Tamasah paramuchyate Gnanam gneyam gnanagamyam Hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. In this chapter, in the third shloka, where Lord Shri Krishna told that Kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. That statement is actually a Mahavakya, Jiva Brahma Aikyam, because it is very clearly pronounced that I am the self in all the beings. That means what? Tattvamasi. That means what? Aham Brahmasmi. Now that same kind of Mahavakya is told in this 17th shloka, which we have completed last class. Because if you see the meaning of the first line of this shloka, last class I have given a different explanation to the word to word meaning of them. Among all the lights, I am the light. Jyotishamapi tat jyoti. Here even Bhagavan not using I am that light, that jyoti. He is using the pronoun that jyoti. Why? Because last 5 verses from the 13th onwards, Bhagavan talked about the Brahma Swarupa Lakshanams. It is Avyaktam, Arupam, Achintyam, and all these explanations, Bahi Antaha, Avibhaktam cha Bhuteshu Vibhaktamiva, all these words are talked about the Brahman. Therefore, now here we cannot use any kind of this first person or second person or third person, because there is no person at all. Therefore, that truth, maximum that pronoun only can be used. Therefore, here tad jyotihi, jyotishamapi jyotihi. It's a light of all the lights. Here, light means, Shastra generally uses the word to refer to the Brahman or the consciousness with the word Jyotihi, light. But that immediately in our mind the thought will come, oh, it is like a lamp, it is like a burning flame, because light, Jyoti. But that is not the meaning. Here it is not the question of the light or darkness. That's why it is beyond the light and darkness. Therefore, tamasaha param muchyate. The word used only, it is beyond the darkness. It means it is beyond the darkness and light also. Or darkness means, last class I told tamasaha, beyond the ignorance, ajnana. Therefore, Jyoti is, what is the meaning of the light generally? Many times I told, light is that which is a self-illumined and illumines the surrounding also, that is called light. விளக்கு தன்னை தான் விளங்கிட்டே சுற்றி இருக்கிறது எல்லாத்தையும் விளக்கும். Now here our sense organs are the light to know, see, either by hearing or by seeing or by touching or by smelling. So that smelling power, seeing power, hearing power, tasting, touching power is light. Because of which you are able to know. Now go one step further, but these senses are, they doesn't have on their own the power of that seeing and hearing and all that. They are borrowing that power from the mind. From the mind. So mind is the light behind the senses. Senses are the light behind knowing of all the objects, objective world. Now one step further, even that mind, these senses and these objects all are jadam. They doesn't have on their own any light. Like the moonlight is not a moonlight, the moon doesn't have light. Moon borrowed the light from the sun. In the same way, this intellect, the mind also is mind and having that Chaitanya power, it borrowed from the Chidabhasam intellect. Now that Chidabhasa light is a reflection from the consciousness, from the Sat and Chit. That is the light. Here light means because of the Brahman consciousness, reflection in the medium of the intellect, and that reflection making the mind to become Chaitanyam. That mind makes the senses to become Chaitanyam. Chaitanya means active, and that senses are seeing the worldly names and forms, objects. And the whole world is Jadam actually. But these senses have got that power to perceive, see them, know them, through their each individual capacity of the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. We have to understand this light means in this way. In this way. Now, by this indicating what? The individual light in each body as a Jiva Bhava or intellect, Buddhi, is nothing but the reflection of the original. If the original is not there, it won't be there. Therefore, that and this are one. One in sense is a borrowed Chidabhasa, but still the existing really is only Brahman. So, in this way here also Jiva Brahma Aikyam. So, Mahavakya Upadesham. And in the second line, he concludes by saying that this Gnanam, here this particular word Gnanam, we need not to take as the 20-point program that we have discussed up to last class also. But here, ultimately the knowledge about which Gnayam and ultimately which is the ultimate goal, that is in everybody's heart, this Gnanam, Gnayam and Gnanagamya, the thing to know, the knowing process, and the thing that should I know, that goal, everything is all the three together, Hridi. Sarvasya Hridi. Not in one you only. Sarvasya Hridi. Wherever this intellect, a refined matter surface, like the Bimbam Chaitanyam is able to reflect well, because in other animals and other creatures that reflection is not that much clear. It is not full-fledged, but they are also living with mind and senses. But only human intellect having the capacity of more to discern and know what exactly happening here. That's why Bhagavad Gita is meant for human beings. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Rajyam, all that also for human beings only, not for animal. So Hridi. Now by saying this word also Hridi, The Gneyam Vastu is Brahman. That is the goal. And knowing that whatever way, that process is called Gnanam. So ultimately knowing myself by discovering in me, by myself, in me itself, all these three are here only. Hridi. This Hridi word, this explanation also reveals the Mahavakya. So you need not to search for the Gnana Gamyam, that Satchit, Brahmam, Chaitanyam, somewhere else. You are that. It is Hridi because we have to some extent introvert all this, from sense objects to the senses, senses to the mind, mind to the intellect, intellect to the consciousness. Therefore, this reversing process, going back to the source, Hridayam, Hridi, Hrit. In the Saddarshanam class, I have given, because in the first shloka, Bhagavan Ramana uses this Hrit word. In Upadeshasara also it comes. The derivative meaning of Hrit is Hriyate, Ahriyate, which swallows everything, which grabs everything, which pulls everything. Hrit. I given a medical meaning also. Our heart is called Hridayam. In every language of our Indian, somewhere or other this is used. You have no heart to scold anybody also. Enna nodu Hridayam kalla. All the blood in the body is pulled to the one center and again pushed out. It's entire blood, because of that constant. So that way also it is Hridi, Hrid. Now this pulling, absorbing, swallowing is now an appropriate meaning to the word Krishna. Karshanat, Akarshanat iti Krishna. Who attracts, absorbs, pulls, swallows everything, he is called Krishna. Akarshanat. Like magnet is there, the all surrounding iron pieces, pins, everything is pulled towards the magnet. Magnet, if it is a round magnet and they are there in the surroundings, all are pulled there. Like that. Karshanat, Akarshanat iti Krishna. Because Krishna is a Brahmavachi. It is a Brahma Shabda. Therefore, Suta Mahamuni starts with this particular shloka before he is teaching the Bhagavata Mahapurana. Sat Chit Ananda Rupaya. Who is the existence conscious bliss form? To that Vishwa Utpatyadi Hetave. Who is the cause of this creation of the world, sustenance of the world and destruction of the world? Tapatraya Vinashaya. Who can destroy, removes, swallows every suffering of this human being. Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika Tapams, Tapatraya Vinashaya. To that particular Lord, to that Krishnaya, let us all pray and bow down. Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. So Karshanat Krishna Hridi Sarvasya Vishtitam Visheshena Tishtitam, without any doubt, without any biasness. Sthitam, vishti, vishtitam, nishtha. The word comes from that one, gnana nishtha. Adhishtana, devata, adhishta, nishtha, vishtha, vishtitam. So, this is the fact. Now, after saying this 17th sloka, now Bhagavan summing up, closing this particular topic and reminding Arjuna, as you asked the 6 words meanings, now so far I explained to you the 4 words. Shloka number 18. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam gneyam choktam samasataha madbhakta etad vignaya madbhavayopapadyate. Yes, Arjuna, this you asked, so I spoken to you about the kshetram and about the gnanam and about the gneyam. But Bhagavan left the one word, kshetrajna. No need. We told in the beginning itself, Arjuna used the same word for same purpose, different word. In fact, Purusha, Kshetrajna, Gneyam, all these 3 are referring to the same. But anyhow, Bhagavan is going to talk about from next shloka about Purusha, that word. But here, in fact, Bhagavan spoken of all the 4, Kshetram, Kshetrajna, Gnanam, Gneyam, even though they are repeated words, here is skipping. That means what? You without knowledge you are asked you tell me about the Gneyam and the Kshetrajna, both are one and the same. In fact, Purusha also same. So, Bhagavan saying, I told, Uktam, Samasatha Uktam, I just told you briefly, briefly only. Where the Upanishads, how much they are talking, Shastra, but Bhagavan within few slokas, in fact 15 slokas, because first Arjuna's question and all that. Now it is a summarizing, in between only 15 slokas. He explained. Samatasa Uktam, to you I explained. Now, I will tell you, whoever knows these things in this way, whoever knows, just now I told the meaning of the shloka, no? Whoever knows the Krishna in this way, whoever listens his words in this way, like that, etat vignaya, by knowing this, what I explained to you, but in brief, that bhaktaha, mat bhaktaha, my devotee only will listen, who doesn't have any love on me, how he can celebrate my Janmashtami or Gokulashtami? He is my devotee only, Bhakta. Or now we are listening. Unless we have respect and reverence, love to Lord Krishna's words, how we listen? So, Mad Bhaktaha, my devotee, Madbhavaya Upapadyate. Now here, first I have to tell you about the Bhakta word meaning. Why sir? We know already Bhakta word. What Lord is considering? 12th chapter we saw elaboratedly the definitions of the Bhakta. Who is Bhakta? Lord himself very clearly told, no? So many. These gunas are there in any person. He is my Sachame Priyaha, Sachame Priyaha. He is only my dearest devotee. He is my only dearest devotee. But still, remembering, recollecting is very good. Here, Mad Bhaktaha. For this, Shankaracharya writes a small 2 lines. I will read that. So we will get a very good comprehensive idea. Mayi Ishware Sarvagne Param Gurau Vasudeve. Very simple. In me, who am I? Ishvara. In me, who is Ishvara and who is a Sarvagna. Tamil, it is looks nice. Ishvaranana Sarvagnanana Yenna Mele. You understood now? So take in that way. Ishvare Sarvagne Paramaguru. I am the Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jagadguru. Paramaguru. All are in 7th case. Mayi, in me, on me, like Sarvagna in me, like that. Guru, then Vasudeve. So up to this, you know all the meanings. Ishvara, who is the controller of everything and who is the knower of everything. Or to say simply, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Sarvagnaha, Sarvavyapakha, Sarvashaktiman. Guru, teacher, because he is the giver of the Vedas. He himself is the form of the Vedas. And Vasudeve. Okay, if you take as the Vasudeva Putra also, now as a Vasudeva Putra only I am standing in front of you and talking. So Vasudeve, the Deva who is residing in your heart, in everybody's heart. This Vas Dhatu, Vasanatiti Vasuhu, or Vasati, by living, by dwelling in some place in that he is called Deva Vasudeva. Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam. Very beautiful meaning of the Vasudeva. Vasanad, because he is all covered everywhere, spreaded everywhere. Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam. The entire 3 worlds are filled with Vasudeve Samarpita Sarvatma Bhavaha, who offers himself and with the idea of the Sarvatma Bhava, everywhere Atma, everybody Atma. Sarvatra Samadarshanaha, Sarvatma Bhava. Because of that, yat pashyati, yat shrunoti, yat sprushati va. Another two also we can add it. Whatever he sees, whatever he listens, whatever he touches, whatever he smells, whatever he tastes, sarvam Bhagavan Vasudeva iti. Everything is nothing but that Vasudeva Bhagavan, the one Brahman. Evam graha vishta buddhi. In this way, whoever understands in his buddhi, evam grahavishta, who grasped in this way, he is called Madbhakta. See, Bhashyam commentary, how beautiful Shankaras. He is only Bhakta. Madbhakta means this all. Sarvatma bhavam. Nothing me, ahankara not there. Nothing is belongs to me. Everything is belongs to Lord and run by Him. His choice, His like, dislike. Not me. I am not there at all. This idea, if it is there, he is called a Bhakta. Madbhaktaha. Then see the here again. Again, culmination Mahavakya like Madbhavaya Upapadyate. He attains oneness with me. Or Madbhavaya means I and he both becomes one. He reaches my bhava, my status. Means what? Moksham gacchati. Jiva Ishvara, Aikyam again here. Moksham gacchati. Madbhavaya upapadyate. This line is very important. After listening all that, what you understood? What is your feeling now? What is your understanding? Therefore, every word is very important. Otherwise, we don't understand Bhakta means what, Bhakti means what. Okay, after this, now Bhagavan entering into the other two more words which are left out, Prakritim and Purusham. Shloka number, sometimes I am telling number one less or one more. Now today I am seeing your book only, Gita Press book I am seeing. If I see other book, there is one added shloka, so you adjust yourself. Whatever is there, I am just seeing and telling. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vidyanadi Vikaramsha Gunamshaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Now the two more left out words, Prakritim, Purusham. In fact, these particular words and the description explanation for this Prakriti Purusha, in the 7th chapter, Gnana Vijnana Yogam, in the 5th shloka, Bhagavan already spoken there elaboratedly. I will remind you that place. But there he used the word para and apara. 5th shloka. In 4th shloka he told about the what is Prakriti. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yame bhinna Prakriti ashtada. These 8 together is called the Prakriti. So Prakriti word is used in the before, if that is 4th shloka of 7th chapter, and in 5th shloka he says apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Beyond this Prakriti there is apara Prakriti. My higher nature is different. You know that as a different and higher param. Me param prakritim vidhi apare. Apara means low, pare means high. Beyond, above this apara, that is prakriti, there is my tattvam, higher nature is purusha. So para, apara, two words are used there. Nothing but kshetram, kshetragna. Here now prakriti, purusha. And like that Bhagavan, not only that, there he says in the 7th chapter, I am going to tell you very clearly, as much as possible, elaboratedly. That means there is nothing left out or nothing to be heard. In that way I am going to tell. So after telling like that, Gnanam teham savignanam idam vakshami asheshataha, without any left out. Yajgnatva neha bhuyonyat gnatavyam avasishyat, by knowing which you need not to know anything much more than that. Then he explained the entire 7th chapter, but still Arjuna got the doubt. He is still again asking about what is Prakriti, what is Purusha. See the problem. We also think that I heard. I am hearing now and then, here and there. That's why some people think that why to come on Saturday? We are already heard the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever possible, we'll come another day. So take it for granted. It should not be there like that. Once if you are listening, it should be heard systematically and completely. Then only you will get a broad vision, integrated understanding, not otherwise. Not otherwise. Okay, what is the meaning of this shloka? Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. These Prakriti, the matter, and the Purusham, the consciousness, these both are, know for certain, they both are beginningless. Ubhau api anadi. Both of them are beginningless. Because Prakriti is about, we are talking about the creation. Creation is a cyclic process, not a linear process. Therefore, we don't accept the modern Darwin theory or any other kind of scientific explanations, because they say one day suddenly Big Bang happened. Because of that Big Bang, before that everything is, this matter alone is there, the matter in a singularity form, singularity. Because after that sudden something happened. What is that something he won't say, he just given the name Big Bang. Then all these segregations are happened and Panchamahabhutas are shared, something happened. Then only consciousness born. See, it's utterly reverse and wrong. According to Vedanta way, a consciousness is always there. That too, it is unchangingly is there. But by the side of that consciousness, internal potential power, Maya Shakti, which is otherwise called Prakriti, that is also is there. Therefore, both are beginningless only. So here, by listening like this, the Purvapakshi, Nanu, Sir, doubt. If Prakriti Maya also is beginningless, then how we can end up it? How you can put an end for it? Not only this, Shastra says consciousness Purusha is also Anadi. Prakriti Maya also is Anadi. Ajnanam also is Anadi, beginningless. Then the question comes, Shankara says, moksha or freedom for the consciousness, and Brahman consciousness is always ever free only. Now what we have to do, this Ajnanam, your identification is the Prakriti. But remember another thing, without this consciousness, this matter cannot function or exist at all. But without the matter, without manifestation, without creation, consciousness is always there. So like that Bhashyam, a very elaborate discussion goes. It's just for us also to remember, because when it is said, now you are clear about it, consciousness is also permanent. Permanent means ever present. Prakriti also is there, Maya also is there, and Avidya also is there. Now what we have to do, this Maya, Prakriti and Avidya, all you put on one side, one category, that is all apara, not para, lower. Therefore, that is all vyavaharika satyam. But there, lot of what? Vikaramscha, gunamscha, vikaras, modifications, and modifications because of the three evolutes, that gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. Because of all this, there is a constant vikara, changing. Constant vikara. And this vikara sahita, guna sahita, prakriti, they are all belongs to the prakriti. Know it. With the prakriti sambhavan, gunas and the vikaras, the modifications, all these are happening, sukha, dukkha, any kind of modification. Modification means in the entire body, mind, intellect complex. And the world which is perceived by this body, mind, intellect complex also, all constant change. The world is under constant flux. Flux means change. Jayati gachati, jayati gachati. It's why jig, 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 it is called Jagat. But this is about the Prakriti. So first he introduced, there are two things. They both live together only. One is one mixed and difficult to separate and see where. But through Viveka you can separate it. Know these two are. Know that both are beginningless. In this, the vikaras and all this belongs to the, because of the Prakriti. Is it clear? Know this much. Vidhi. Then after that in 20th shloka, karya karana kartrutve hetu prakriti ruchyate purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve hetu ruchyate. Okay, so all the modifications because of the three gunas, all they belongs to the Prakriti, I told you. Now, what exactly Prakriti do, these three gunas will do. What it is the cause for hetuhu? Karya karana kartrutve. Here karya means body. Okay, body. And this body to function and claim that I am the karta, I am doing, I am all that achieving, all this of the because of the karana. If only body is there, not enough. Behind this, not only senses but antakaranam is important. Here karana means antakaranam, the mind and mano buddhi chitta ahankara. If that antakaranam instrument is there, then only this effect karyam body together can have the katrutva bhavana. Therefore, for that doership feeling, claiming, who is the cause? Prakriti uchyate hetuhu. That is all again Prakritis, Mayas. Okay, Kartrutva bhavana not alone, doership feeling, but there is a enjoyership also. Bhoktrutva bhavana also is there. So in second line Bhagavan says, for bhoktrutva hetuhu, purusham. What is the bhoktru? What is the enjoyership? What we are enjoying here? Either pain or joy. Sukha, dukkha. These two only, no. With anything, we are enjoying these two only. They constantly. And they are always constantly changing. This sound came, gone. Again it will come, goes. Again comes, goes. So when that sound gone, sukham. When that sound comes again, dukkham. When hunger comes, dukkham. When after eating, sukham. So like this, any sukha, any dukkha never persist continuously. But in waking state, generally what mistake we will do, we think that my pains and my body problems, all that, my difficulties, not going at all the time I have problem only. Don't say like that. In sleep, somehow with difficulty you sleep, no. At least 3 hours, 4 hours you sleep. At least if you are not well also. Even that 1 hour sleep also is okay. Dukkha gone or not? Recognize that. Otherwise, in waking state, if you see some body problem, it will be there. It will remind you all the time, constantly. It will remind you. In my body, this problem is there. In my body, this problem is there. It reminds. But still, in sleep, it is going. In dream, you are differently experiencing different. So therefore, these are all constant under change only. Anyhow, bhoktrutvam is there. So now the 2 points. Kartrutvam is because of the Prakriti. Bhoktrutvam because of Purusha. Now here you have to be careful. Here Purusha means consciousness, Kshetrajna. Here also Purvapakshi raises the question in Bhashya. Swami, Purusha is unchanging, untouched. Then how you can say he is enjoying Sukha Dukkha means? That is good question. Really speaking, the Brahman, Chaitanyam, Purusha not undergoing either Kartrutva Bhavana or Bhoktrutva Bhavana. Here the pseudo Purusha born, Gauna Ahanka, Gauna Aham, secondary pseudo virtual I born. What? The reflection only, Jiva, the Abhimana. Then he identifies, constantly identifies either Kartrutva Bhavana, doership, and enjoyership. So, as though this Purusha consciousness is undergoing the Sukha Dukkha, as though. But the Purusha here, what we are using, because we have to use that only. See, even some problem in the eye, I won't say that I am suffering. Sir, I can't speak, no sir. Okay. My tongue has got some problem. So I am able to speak through the tongue only. But actually tongue is not telling. The problem pain is went to the mind. Mind recognized and then telling that my tongue is paining, my tooth is paining, like that. Therefore, that means that antakaranam is a reflection. Where from that antakaranam got the power, become Chaitanyam? From the Purusha, original Bimba. Being it is a borrowed Purusha Tattvam or Chaitanya Tattvam, we will say, because you are identified with that. You are identified with that. That's why for all of us, after how much you listen also, sir, I am only the one, sir, suffering. Krishna simply says and get off. You are also telling. Don't say, my dear, like that. Think coolly, contemplate again and again. Separate. How? They both are together but separate. How? Buddhya, Jnanena, Vicharanena, Vedanta Shravanena, and disown of it. That's it. More than you can't do anything. Don't unnecessarily think and break your head, my karma, my prarabdha. No, drop everything. All comes under the Prakruti only. Prakruti, Vikruti Sahita, Vikruti Maya, constantly changes. This is like that. But you, the real consciousness, without identifying with this Jiva Bhava, the pseudo Ahankara I, this point only very beautifully brought out in the Saddarshanam in the first shloka itself. Chinta Rahitam, Hrit, Rudakhyam. Then how I will know it? Katam smaramaha? Esha question. How can I recognize it? Smaramaha means I know it. Tasya smrutihi tatra drudhaiva nishtha. You abide in it. Smaramaha, remembering means abiding it. That's why knowing is being. Brahmavit, Brahmaiva bhavati. You inquire and do any kind of other research or about anything in this world, anything, you never become that. About anything, any research, anything. But here, in this research means which is lost, we are searching and discovering. Discovery means what? Which is there already, but not now it is seen. So, displace, the cover is called discovery. It is covered. That is called discovery. Nothing is new. It is there already. You don't know. Now it is, you recognized it. In the same way, here I am already that. I just recognize it. Tasya smrutihi tatra dhudaiva nishtha. Actually, in one shloka, teaching is over. Saddarshanam starting. Ulladu 40. One shloka. For that, all this elaboration here. Therefore, Sukha Dukkhanam Purushaha Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. We tell like that. but it is not real. You will understand, I will explain further, then you will understand. But now itself I have given to you how we have to take this Purusha. Otherwise, the entire Vedanta is a useless teaching. Then Shloka number 21. Purusha Prakrutisto hi Bhunte Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Gunasangosya Sadasadyoni Janmasu. Now here Bhagavan talking about this pseudo I, this wrongly identified Jiva Bhava or Purusha Tattvam, what it leads to further. If you don't know how to recognize that you are really speaking, you are untouched, unchanging principle Brahman, if you don't recognize that, this wrongly identified Purusha, okay, Bhagavan not using those words wrongly identified and all that, we have to understand and derive. Purusha Prakrutistaha, as though he is living with, he is enveloped by the body. So Purusha Tattvam is, when the mind, intellect is there it is reflected. After reflecting, it is like a enclosed, that is correct word, enclosed in the body. That is the meaning. Prakriti means body, Sthitaha means enclosed. The body which is related to the Prakriti, when there is a reflection of the Purusha, original Purusha, here one pseudo second, another Purusha born, reflection born. Then, indeed, Bhunkte. Now, because of this identification, Prakriti Jan Gunan, because of the Prakriti, whatever modulations and modifications comes through the Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, and because of those effects of the three gunas, all those things he is enjoying. Who? Not real Brahman. This Ahankara Vimudhatma, Jiva Bhava Vimudhatma Purusha, it is like, see, the enclosing means what? Mirror is there. Whenever anything comes in front of the mirror will reflect it. Yes, reflects it. But here, now this example you take in a reverse way. Consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness is everywhere. Like mirror. You think like a mirror. Now, whatever comes in front of it, whichever having that capacity of the shining, mirror is a shining one only, no? That is reflected there. So, Buddhi has got a very refined matter, so consciousness is reflecting there. So, all pervading consciousness is reflected here. But we understand generally, original my face, I stood in front of the mirror. Now my mind is enclosed by the mirror. Okay, enclosed. You are very intelligent there. You never think that my reflection is original, it is real. You use it. You put everything and you use it. But you know, reflection is. But once you go, reflection is not there. But here, in that place of mirror, let the consciousness. That's why everything is in the consciousness. All bodies are in the consciousness, not that our consciousness is in the body. But here, because for you to understand, you have to say first, prakrutistaha. As though I came and stuck up, sat in between the Prakriti. This world. Now, what is our. I am Namatikitten. I caught up in this family, with this husband, with these children, with his in-laws and all that. I caught up. This is all your wrong notion. You are limiting yourself because such a strong identification since so many anadi janmas. Therefore, Vedanta has to bang on your brain head, then chiseling, then only it will, you will understand. Yes. Prakriti jan gunan bhunkte. That's why the main culprit is the body identification and giving the most importance to this body. I am the body, my body, in all this is. Body, let it be there. Use it and to know yourself. Use the Prakriti to know yourself consciousness. See? Because if that body is not there, that envelope is not there, enclosure, actually Brahman cannot express. Brahman cannot express. Nothing there in front of the mirror. What mirror can reflect? So consciousness everywhere is there. Now you see that consciousness is I expressing through this body. Not only this body, in every body, I am only. That only I read in the Bhashyam, no? Vasudeva Bhagavan Sarvamiti. Therefore, in this way, Prakritijan Gunan. Then, Karanam Gunasangasya. What is the reason for all this? Because Sangam, attachment with gunas. Here Karana means cause only. The cause, reason is Gunasangasya. Then after that, is it ending here and there? Okay, let it go. Nonsense. Many times when there is a lot of problems and so much confusion, talapirchikal, if it is there, let me sleep. But it is not going. After the sleep you come out, again it is there. Then some people think that let me end my life, suicide. There also it won't end. You don't know, but Shastra tells what? Sad, asad, yoni janmasu. If you are not breaking this barrier here with the gnana asina, okay, asanga shastrena dhridena chitva. If you are not doing that, good body, bad body. Sad asat means here higher yonis, lower yonis. Okay. Yesterday in Bhuradharanyaka we are seeing now in Krishna Gati Marga. There also gradation. Front seat, back seat, middle seat. Silver cup, steel cup and gold cup. Why? Because of your punya. So like that, sad asad yoni janmasu, body after body, body after body, body after body. So by sleeping also it is not ending. By you kill yourself here also it won't end. What is the proof? You came now. You came now and you are suffering. Why I came? Why I have to suffer? As who am I really? Start inquire. Listen Bhagavad Gita slowly, sloka after sloka, word by word, then you will understand. Okay. So let us conclude here today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Shri Krishna.